Hey everybody, it's Jacob Buchanan again with Achilles Mortgage, presenting Mortgage and Muscles. Today I have my guy here, Mr. Theo.
How's it going?
It's going. And we're
Good.
just going to kind of go over a little bit of everything from real estate, fitness, to investing, to just life in general, more or less here, living in sunny Jacksonville, Florida. Theo, a little bit of background. You went to UNF.
Yep.
I went to JU, so we used to bump into each other a lot, you know, being young Thundercats, more or less. And this has always been a cool guy. And he kind of assists me with I purchased my second property, and just wanted to introduce him and kind of get him out a little bit more. Everybody pretty much already knows Theo, but to see another portion of him.
Thank you.
So a little bit of background if you want to.
Yeah, a little bit of background with me. I started off in finance essentially at Merrill Lynch.
Mhm.
I was a financial consultant. So I had my Series 7 and 66. I was like helping people with their portfolios, buying and selling stocks, bonds, all that stuff.
Okay.
Um, got kind of tired of that, wanted to change the scenery.
The office space or just
Yeah, just the office, the monotonous stuff.
the
Wanted to
repetitive.
change the scenery. Did a bunch of research on like how to grow generational wealth and like just noticed like real estate was like what everybody had in common. So I was
Mhm.
like, all right, I really want to learn how to like master this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got into real estate. And that was about 4.5, 5 years ago. So I've been in real estate for 4.5 years now, done about 250 deals, buy side, sell side, flips, off market, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, Love it.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best decision ever.
And Theo's able to do everything from a first-time home buyer to super savvy investor. Just speaking with him, working with him on different things. What would you say is the difference in a client's mindset from that first-time home buyer to that savvy investor?
So I think with a first time home buyer, you have to guide them. Like you don't know what you don't know.
Hmm.
So that's what your job and responsibility is as the realtor. You're an advisor. This is
Okay,
one of their biggest purchases. You want to make sure that you're guiding them, making sure that you're looking out for the right things and making sure that's a smart purchase
for sure,
for
for
them,
sure.
You don't want them to buy something that's not a good purchase and then further down the line put them in a bad situation.
Regret it or the market or specific neighborhood.
Yeah, so
Okay.
have to help them with inspections, have to help them through the loan process, shopping around for insurance,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You were in the industry when everything was kind of, I want to say rainbows and jet skis, but it was better. What are your three big takeaways from where we're at now to where you were when we started?
So as you said, the market was pretty easy
Hmm.
back then for sellers and buyers because
Hmm.
buyers were not desperate to buy something, but they were just very gung ho to get something just because the
Gotcha.
rates were so
So low,
low.
might as
Yeah,
well
so
take advantage.
they weren't picky, they just wanted to get properties.
Okay.
And then for sellers, of course, everything was selling. You
Hmm.
could throw a house up without a roof and it will sell the next day,
Yeah, it's not they're not doing that
Um,
right now.
yeah. So, would you say three key
Yeah, I'll
takeaways?
keep like three. Yeah.
I mean, I would say now with the shift in the market, now that rates are higher and stuff like that, you definitely need to know the process more.
Okay.
Buyers, so on the buy side, buyers are definitely doing more due diligence now
Yeah, for sure, for
because it
sure.
was so competitive back then. So now
Hmm.
we're really digging into, all right, how old is the HVAC? Like, when am I going to have to replace that? How old is
Hmm.
the water heater? How old is the roof? So buyers are more diligent.
Got you.
Um, Takeaway on the sell side, actually have to get your house ready to sell it now
Yeah, you have to put some
because,
investment in it before you put it on the
yeah,
market.
buyers are a little bit more picky. So it's
Hmm.
like you can't just throw it up next day on the market. Now you actually have to get a deep clean, like fix certain things,
Hmm.
patch this up, paint that, get everything ready. It's
For
all about
sure.
presentation now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very competitive now.
Very competitive. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say the third takeaway is on the loan side, just shopping around for different products.
Okay.
Since rates are in the sevens right now,
Hmm.
might be better off going with an arm, trying to get in the fives,
For sure, for
If you see
sure.
that the rates are going down, then that's a
Mhm.
temporary fix for that.
Yep. A lot of people don't know that there's still those arms, some investment programs or some interest only loan programs that you could dabble in, especially with the DSCR program. So yeah, there's definitely different programs variety out there. Would you, what would you say is a big difference from being an investor right now? Because I know you invest in homes, you do fix and flips yourself. Like, how are the numbers currently compared to what they were like a couple years ago?
I would say that the the dream of building your rental portfolio right now is I'm not gonna say non-existent,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a lot harder than what it was, just
Hmm.
because when the rates went down to the twos and threes, prices appreciated so much, but
Hmm.
rent wasn't catching up with that.
True. Yep.
So now that the
That's a good thing.
prices are so high,
Hmm.
it's really hard to find something where you can put 20% down and it's going to cash
Cash
flow.
flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 10%, or even I would say if you can find something 5, 6% right now, like that's a good
That's a
deal.
good deal.
Yeah, but before it was like, oh yeah, it's cash flowing 20%.
Yeah,
Those deals, I mean, they still exist, but it's definitely a lot harder.
for sure. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Or if I had to find off market.
yeah,
Okay.
and they built so, especially in Jacksonville right now, they built so many apartment complexes too.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of competition in the rental space.
Got you.
Yeah,
And you're one of the first people that actually brought that up.
yeah,
Everywhere I go, there's a new building up, a
yeah.
new
Literally
building up.
anywhere
Yeah.
in Jacksonville now, like there's apartment
It's insane.
buildings
Like, who do they
everywhere.
expect to come here? I wonder, like, or is it just everybody growing up? It's a college town. Colleges are getting bigger.
Yeah, so I like to follow the people with the money.
Hmm.
And if people are investing in apartment complexes here now, that
That
means
means
that
people are going to
something's
start coming.
coming.
Yeah.
Something's coming here. So I think that a lot of big companies are coming here.
Okay.
Don't know which ones, but
Yeah. They have
that's the only thing that would make
logical.
sense
Yeah,
for
it has to
me.
be. Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know Amazon came a little bit. They didn't big,
Amazon, yep.
but not as big as they were originally, I think, at one point. Like
Yeah.
that building up near the airport. But
Yep.
yeah, it's supposed to be some big hitters coming. So I know the shipyard has gotten a lot bigger. I know we won that extension a couple years back, and because of that, a lot of bigger companies should be coming into our market here in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Um, what part of the town do you like to focus on when you're helping borrowers where it's just request and desire?
I mean, the area I normally cover goes all the way from Yulee all the way down to St. Augustine, and then west I'll probably go Oak Leaf,
Oakleaf?
that area.
Okay.
Yeah, it really just
Okay.
depends on what the client's looking for.
Okay. Do you ever go down to like the Palm Coast area at all?
Not really. I will, but
Okay.
like it's situational.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a little
Yeah.
drive, definitely a little drive. Okay. So the Fed just met recently. They did a drop of 0.5 bps. What do you think is going to happen potentially, or what you're hearing in the streets, more or less?
So the Fed rate doesn't necessarily dictate the mortgage
Hmm.
rates, but usually when Fed rates go down, mortgage
Yeah,
rates go down as well
that's
because
kind
it
of
means
the
that it's cheaper to borrow money.
yeah.
So that gets passed on through the mortgage companies and banks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Historically, during election years, the rates drop,
For sure.
so it's not random.
Yeah,
So
they
kind
kind
of
of
saw that coming.
yeah, for sure.
Um, and I think that is going to be big for buyers because a lot of people got priced out when the rates went up to 8.
Hmm.
A lot of people got priced out since the prices are already so high.
Hmm.
So this is going to help a lot of buyers get back into the market. Um,
Hopefully.
and for sellers, that's a good thing because more people are buying.
Yeah, and then when you sell your property, that you're probably in the low threes or even the twos, you're hopefully able to get like in the fives soon enough.
Yep,
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what
exactly.
happens. That's a
Yeah.
big thing why people aren't selling as well.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow going from a 3%
To
rate
a,
to
to
8%. It's like, why would I even
yeah, do you
move?
have to do that? That's
Yeah.
kind of the question they're probably
Yeah.
asking themselves.
But 3 to 5 is a lot more acceptable.
Yeah,
So I think a lot of people are going to start coming off their
I hope
properties.
so. Yeah, I like to say, tap me in, coach. Let's get in the game
Yeah.
for sure. Let's talk about your athletic background. I know I didn't play sports in college. Fortunately, kind of one of the bigger regrets for me. What about yourself?
Yeah. So, I mean, through high school, I played basketball, soccer, ran track, did weightlifting, martial arts. So I did kind of a little bit of everything. In college, I ran track at UF my
Okay.
freshman year.
What?
Wasn't too fond of that. And then I transferred to UNF to play soccer after that.
Okay, you play soccer. Okay.
Yep.
Um, yeah, if I could have, would have, should have, Jay, I should have played ball. I can still
Yeah.
dunk though. I can still dunk. What are you doing currently? We're all trying to stay fit, getting a little older as we are progressing, age like
Yeah.
fine wine. What are you doing to kind of maintain?
I mean, I try to keep that same like college athlete schedule, like wake up in the mornings, breakfast, go hit the gym, um, sauna, all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I have my own workout regimen that I follow in the mornings. And that
Okay.
also sets the tone for the day too.
No, for sure, for
Because
sure.
if you can get that out the way in the mornings, your body up and running, and then you can do all your follow-ups, your showings, listing appointments, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but if I work out in the morning, I'm hangry the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, we all have our things. I'm an evening workout guy. I'm not as consistent as I should be, but I'm trying to get back personally.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say about nutrition that goes alongside with working out and then, feeling good, doing good?
I mean, I would say working out is probably half of the battle. If you're working out and you're eating garbage,
Hmm.
you're not going to see the benefits and you're still going to feel like trash.
For sure.
So I would say nutrition is also very important. I like to meal prep on Sundays and Thursdays. I meal prep all my meals
So you
because
chefing it or you got somebody chefing for
I'm
you?
doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So when you have those meals ready, it's just so much easier as opposed to trying to cook 3, 4 times a day because it's not happening. Then you end up eating out,
For
and it's
sure.
like now I just spent $100 a day eating
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So meal prepping is huge for me.
That's for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I don't meal prep, but I work from home, so the kitchen's down the hall. Um, with that being said, taking care of your body, taking care of your mentals, your emotionals is going to help you in the long run. We're talking about from your personal life to your business life and just
Yep.
overall success, nonetheless.
100%.
Um, back to real estate, what would you say is something that Jacksonville pretty much needs to focus on? What do you say is the housing market, apartments, or just the roads in the sense the fact that we need to build bigger, long highways? Like, what are you thinking?
Like Jacksonville needs to focus on.
Yeah.
I think they need to follow through with all the stuff that they're talking about building downtown,
Okay, I
which they
agree with that.
are supposedly
Suppose.
starting
Yeah,
now. We're
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be getting the Four Seasons,
Over the
and
Four Seasons.
yeah, supposed to
Okay.
be getting the Four Seasons on the water. Um, and they're building some luxury apartments down in Springfield now. And then there's another big project that they're supposed to be building down there as well. But they've been talking about that for the past like 10
Yeah,
years
for since
now.
I've been here, more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
which is why I always like kind of warn the new investors that come to Jacksonville because they want to like buy downtown because they've
Hmm.
heard so many things are coming. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
the time frame is
what's your time
yeah,
horizon? Like, are you okay waiting 10,
yeah,
15, 20 years?
for
Like,
sure.
when do you want to cash out?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they need to like follow through with that because I think Jacksonville has a lot of potential.
Hmm.
I mean, we're one of the cheapest beach cities
For sure.
on the east
On the
coast
East
of
Coast.
Florida.
Yeah.
Our infrastructure is good, the highways are good, everything is good, but we just don't have a downtown presence.
Yeah,
So
or
I think,
like even for our age group to do a lot more or less.
yeah,
Besides a game or going out to eat, we don't have anything to really do.
exactly. I think if they infuse downtown with some more stuff for young professionals to
Hmm.
do,
Hmm.
not the beach
Yeah,
bars.
not that we're too old for that. Oh,
Yeah,
grown and sexy at this point.
I think that'll attract a lot more growing families
Hmm.
and young professionals
Younger
here.
professionals, yeah,
And yeah, it'll be overall better for the city.
yeah. I mean, a nice
Fo-
influx of income, and you
Yeah,
also fill that Jack Stadium up a little bit.
football team probably get better
We
too.
would think so.
They're
Maybe
going to
we
Miami.
should try out or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember when the landing. Speaking about downtown, when the landing was that like 6, 7 years, maybe like 6, 5 years ago, and I was like, okay, they're going to start, and then it just sat there for a little bit. It's like very interesting
yeah,
how that happened.
yep.
Yeah. I know like Springfield is a big investor area right now. What parts of town are you looking at investing in right now?
So Springfield is good.
Mhm.
The thing about Springfield is a lot of those homes are historic.
Yeah.
So pulling permits on those and doing those flips are a bit more difficult. So I
Okay.
definitely recommend having some experience doing that.
For sure.
Um, where else is good? I would say Murray Hill is still a good area because Riverside has gotten so saturated. Riverside is now expensive, so then
Hmm.
going west of there, all the investors are now going west of there, going into Murray Hill.
Okay.
Murray Hill is even getting pricey
Price here.
now, so I
Yeah.
think Hyde Park is probably going to be the next
Hyde
one.
Park.
Yeah,
Put that one down. Hyde Park. Okay.
yeah. Hyde
Okay.
Park is going to be like to the left of Murray Hill.
I've never been over there. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like St. Augustine? Like I see like a lot of that demographic is flipping over from your manufactured homes to like standard spec homes, things like that. Have you checked that out as well?
Yeah, so there's a lot of development going on like in between like Jacksonville, St. John's, and St. Augustine.
Okay.
I think in the next like 10 years, it's just going to be like one big connected thing.
True.
Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of development going on there.
No, it's insane. It's like every time I turn around, it's a new building or new houses,
Neighborhood.
new neighborhoods. It's
Yeah.
like wow, it's just a lot of money down there.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your best slash worst, or maybe even humor transaction that occurred with you, involved or not, or that you heard of?
So I have a lot of good transactions.
Okay.
Most of my transactions are good. So I have to think about the best one, but I can tell you my worst one for sure.
Okay, go ahead. Let the
Yes.
people know.
So my worst one was a house that I listed in Mandarin. The owner had just bought it. This was like back when the market was booming.
Okay.
So she had just bought it in like 2019 for like 400, 350-ish.
Okay.
Went on the listing appointment. She was like, I want to list it for 700.
Okay.
And that was like a year later. It was like a
Oh,
year later to
wow.
the date. And I was like, you've only owned it for a year? That's kind of, it's ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, rates are crazy. So let's shoot for the stars. Let's do it.
Yeah.
In her defense, her house was like, she did a really good job.
Oh, she put some money into it.
Just decorating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she made it look good.
Yeah. So it looked awesome. So we went on the market. Had one showing, which is wild back then because back then you would have 20 showings within the first couple of days.
At least, yeah.
So we had one showing. The couple loved the house. They put in an offer at 700. I presented it to my seller and she said no. I said, we listed it at 700.
Yeah. Did she have cameras in the house or anything? Or
no, she was like, that's too easy. And I was like, what do you mean too easy? Like, that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
She's like, counter back at 725. And I'm like, all right. I was a newer agent back then. And I should have known that actually in the contract it says that if you get a full price offer, you have to accept it. You can't deny it.
Yep.
But learned that. So I countered back at 725. They came back. They really wanted the house. They're like, yes, want it. Went back to my seller. She was like, no. And I was like, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you
do you really want to sell it?
Are you serious about selling this house or
Yeah.
not? And she's like, I'm serious, but this is just too easy. I'm like, all right, here we go. I was like, how can we make this deal happen?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, go back at 750. And I'm like, all right.
Wow.
So now I look crazy as an agent. I'm like, hey,
keep bumping the price up on them.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys being so cooperative because I have to keep a good relationship with that agent too.
As well, for sure.
So I'm like, hey, appreciate you guys being so cooperative. My seller wants to counter back at 750, and their agent, of course, is like what's going on? And I'm like, I'm only the messenger.
Yeah.
So they go back, talk to their clients, and then they come back and they're like, we will do 750, but it's going to be fully furnished. We want all the decor. We want everything.
Okay.
Everything. Leave everything.
Yeah.
I go back to her. She's like, they want it at 750, but fully furnished. You have to leave everything. And she's like, okay, perfect. So we go under contract, go through, everything's going smooth. We get to about a week out from closing, and I'm like, hey, fully furnished, leave everything. Cups, glasses.
Oh, I know what's going to happen.
Silverware, everything. Don't take anything. And she's like, all right. So day of closing, they're doing the walkthrough, and the buyers are, of course, super distraught because she's taking some stuff. She's taking some rugs and stuff like that.
Okay, a little personal stuff.
Yeah, she's taking some stuff after she said she wouldn't. And the buyers like essentially refused to close because she breached a contract. And I told her, I was like, hey, like you need to either bring this stuff back or you need to offer them some kind of compensation for this stuff. She wasn't willing to do any of that stuff. So the deal ultimately ended up falling through. But the kicker is that she was actually under contract for another house in Tampa.
So she needed to close.
But she didn't.
Yeah.
I guess she thought that the buyers were just like,
just okay, whatever.
Yeah, just gonna go with it. But they walked away. They got their deposit back because she breached a contract. She lost her deposit on the house in Tampa.
Ooh.
Ended up keeping the house. I basically excused myself from that situation at that point. I was like, if I've done everything. I'm good on this.
Like she's not the client for me.
Yeah, she ended up listing it with someone else. Sat on the market for about 10 months, and she ended up selling for like 700, something like that.
So she lost 50 grand for a couple rugs and a few items. Hey, that's a story for you right there.
Yeah, so that was the worst. In regards to the best, I mean, I've had so many good transactions.
The most heartfelt, would you say? Like a quick heartfelt one.
Most heartfelt? I don't know. They all get pretty like personal to me just because I like to help people and like it's a big deal.
Buying for sure. It's the biggest investment.
Starting a family, expanding your family,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I have so many. I have to like think of that.
I got you. Don't want to put nobody on the spot with the best story. as an investor here in the Jacksonville market, we talked about it kind of a little bit already. What are the top 3 things you would tell them? Like, look at this for number wise or for the house. What are top 3 things? Is like you gotta focus on these things to make a successful deal.
I mean, for investors, I think area knowledge is good. Being familiar with the rental rates, of course, that's what I'm here for as well.
Hmm.
So rental rates is really good to know. How to run the numbers is good to know, and kind of touching on the areas too, knowing like the appreciation, what areas are going to
To appreciate a
appreciate the
little bit
highest
more.
rate.
Okay,
Because I think appreciation is going to probably be what most investors are going for right now,
for sure,
just because the ROI isn't as good as it used to be.
for sure.
So now I kind of look at investment properties as like, if I can cash flow a little bit, that's a win. But then further down the line, it's like a high interest savings account,
There you go.
essentially.
And that's what buying a house is kind of in of itself,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, again, this is a great episode. My guy Theo. If you wanted to reach out to us, there will be our contact information below the video. He's a great person to reach out to for questions, even on the real estate side or the investment side. He can represent you. Don't hesitate. Give us a call. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll have another episode. Check in.